I'm a dragon.
Okay, sorry, awful intro. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of You Learn Something Every Day. Let's just go with that intro. And pretend I'm a dragon. This is actually a Godzilla mask, but don't worry about that. I also didn't have a dragon sort of suit to go with it, so I'm just wearing a sweater. Sorry, I broke your immersion there. My bad. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about dragons. Now, you may have picked up from the first episode, but all of the things I'm going to be talking about for this series of You Learn Something Every Day are kind of spooky or fantasy related, or just kind of in theme with Halloween, and that's why I've dressed up for the first few. I don't know if I'll continue doing so, because I'm probably going to run out of matching dresses to, ideas, but we'll worry about that when we get to that. Anyways, let's get into the meat of the episode. And timer starts now. So today we're talking about the difference between dragons and drakes. Let's start with dragons and drakes. They're all defined under this one species that's usually just referred to as dragons, but there's actually some subtle differences between them. A lot of people assume dragons and drakes refer to the same creature and they're just different words from different cultures, but that would actually be an incorrect assumption. Now, all creatures under the dragon family have their powers dictated to them by their skin tone. So a red dragon would breathe fire, a blue dragon would breathe water, a gold one lightning, and so on. There are a few exceptions to the rules, like dark dragons breathe like dark, or black dragons breathe dark magic, stuff like that. But that's the general idea. Now, there are also two other subspecies of dragons, wyverns and worms. And wyverns are sort of accepted as the oldest type of dragon. They're these ancient beings that actually don't have any legs, and they're more serpent-like. Worms, of course, as per their name, are also very old dragons and have a varying number of legs rather than no legs at all. The wings also vary on both worms and wyverns. And worms and wyverns, worms mainly are the dragons you see in old Chinese culture, wyverns, dragons, and drakes appear more in Norse, Viking mythology, etc. But let's get back into the actual difference. So, dragons, as you may know from, say, Smough, from Lord of the Rings, or the Dragon God from Demon Souls, Hellkite Drake from Dark Souls, various games, movies, stuff like that. Dragons appear a lot in popular culture. They all have 4 legs and a set of wings, and that is very important that you keep in mind. 4 limbs, a set of wings. The front 2 are sometimes arms. Drakes, they appear less, so you may not know what defines a drake, but typically drakes will have 2 legs and wings. A notable distinction also is dragons are huge. Imagine Smough, he was like almost the size of Lake Town. Or the Dragon King is a huge creature who takes up a lot of the boss arena. Drakes are much smaller creatures. On average, drakes range from 2 feet in mythology, or even this small, to about the size of a horse at most. Dragons start as babies, maybe this small, but they typically start at the size of like a dog and will grow huge, enormous, with wingspans of at least 20 feet. But the main difference comes down to something I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode. It's legs. Dragons are infeasible or impossible creatures to exist, as they have 2 sets of legs, or legs and hands, and wings, whereas drakes only have 1 set of legs and wings, such as bats or birds, creatures that actually can exist. That's the main difference, is that a drake is a creature that could potentially exist in our world. That is a sync point. Okay, let me get this dragon mask on, and we will get going. One moment. Crap. Sorry. Let's get everything else organized before this.
Okay.